Hi guys, it's me again. I just recorded a whole video on our trusty camera, and Macy has enough memory on the memory card, but she gave up on me. She really did. So you guys know how exhausted I am right now, but the show must go on. The show must go on. Basically, today I'm going to be just addressing the fact that to some extent, or to most of the extent, just all of it, I choose not to feel things, and that in itself has stopped me and many others from healing fully. And look, I know that healing in itself is a journey, right? But I also feel as though there are some blockers that happens on this journey, and for me, and I think for you who's watching, I mean, sometimes we, and mostly me, that's why we're here, me, I avoid expressing my emotions. Right now, I'm so frustrated because I had made this video already, spoken about everything, and because I've spoken about it, now my mood has kind of reached a point of, we have to feel what we just spoke about. And now we have to talk about it again. Yes, we do. Because I feel as though it's very important to put this out for future me to just know that healing only happens through feeling. And I avoid expressing myself emotionally all the time. And this stems a lot from the fact that I grew up in a space where there's a lot of love, but there's also a lot of the time no expression of that compassionate thing that happens with when you look at families. You see them hugging each other, kissing each other on the cheek, having conversations where the other person opens up the space so that you can actually speak, if that makes sense, or you don't have to hold yourself back. And for me, I had that at times, not all the time. And I mean, who has it all the time? Those lucky people? Maybe. But I grew up being surrounded, and listen, I moved around a lot when I was younger. And I'm still doing it to this day. Messy, I like to be everywhere. I'm surrounded, and was surrounded, by mostly outcasts, the weirdos, the people who had to fight to be themselves, the people that had to fight for love, the people that had to fight to be seen. That's at least what I've noticed. That's my experience. That's what I've seen. And if those around me feel as though that's not me, well, babe, then I didn't count you in. You know what I mean? But sometimes I can clock some of y'all, but I'm gonna push. And I've learned that being surrounded by people who can say this happened to me, but can't say this is how I felt, and this is how I dealt with how I felt, with the abuse, with the trauma that I've experienced. I don't know what that's like, to be honest. And I come from both sides, where it's like both sides of my family lineage, basically. They've been through things. They've been through a lot of things. And all I see is what they've been through and not how they feel about it. But you know what? The body never lies. I can see the effects of it. I've seen the effects of it. People get sick, people feel unworthy, so they present themselves in a specific way. They present themselves in a specific way. And I've learned that. You can't get through things if you just don't express how you feel. And it's an intense thing. Another way that I've kind of intellectualized how I felt, logically thought about my emotions, is overthinking it. The rumination of like, when, what, why, who. All of that creates no space. Creates no space to actually feel. And the point that I'm trying to make on this overthinking is I would rather sit in a corner and think about why I'm feeling that way. Like, okay, here we go. I never saw myself as an angry person. But if you know me, you know that there's this thing that happens where suddenly I just switch off. And that is me overthinking an emotion that I should be feeling, which is anger, which is irritation. But instead, I become resentful towards the people around me because I can't express how I feel. But who is in control? Yeah, I am. And so therefore it's not fair. And in turn, I've never felt things to the extreme that it should be felt so that I can push through it and move through it. If you know? And my overuse of logically thinking about things it's like hand in hand with overthinking. It's not cute. And you need to stop. You need to stop overthinking everything that comes to why you feel that way. Yes, you can come to a conclusion after you felt it. What do I want to do about this feeling? But initially, you need to feel it. I also have this thing where this one is very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Let me just hear you guys. I minimize emotional experiences or emotional expressions, and it's to the extent where I don't want to be around people who feel too much. If you're sitting here and you're crying because someone gifted you something nice, I don't want to be there because it's too much for me. The happiness, the feeling of happiness towards crying, to the point of crying, the feeling of sadness to the point of crying, the feeling of anger to the point of crying. I don't want to be there. I'm out. And that has really stopped me from literally getting to a place within my journey of healing where I'm just kind of stuck at. And it's time to stop that shit. It's really time to stop it. It's not cute and it's not helpful. Because at some point you're gonna have your own kids. You're gonna have to guide someone. You're going to be put in a leadership position and you're not gonna know how to navigate someone else through all of these big things that happen with us humans. We are meant to feel. We are meant to connect with people. And that's like the other thing for me. The point at which my intellectualizing has gone to is that I cannot connect with people. I can't just walk up to someone and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, try and find out who they are. No, can't call me up to do that. Yes, I can do it. But I spent a year doing counseling, and that in itself, it took a lot out of me. It took a lot of who Tyhiesha was, because now I don't want to know people because I know what people go through. And yes, it's not an excuse, but it definitely is something that's impacted me. I cannot connect with people unless I actively need something from you, which again, embarrassing, but it's real, and a lot of us go through it, and it's not cute, because I've switched myself off so much that I can just sit on one space and not be bothered by the people around me. And I don't want that anymore. You know what I mean? The me before 2024, actually before 2021, she loved people. I literally had my first year of university and I cried every day. Even right now, I want to cry. Because I spent it alone. I didn't have any close friends. I traveled alone. I went to campus alone. I sat alone. I had lunch alone. I love people. I love connecting with them. But because I stopped myself from feeling, I cannot connect with people right now. And so, stop that. Just stop it. Stop it. Another thing, reading books and all those podcasts, it's not going to help. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help the other people. Yes, it's going to give you the tools. Yes, it's going to basically feed into you intellectualizing more, which is good. You know what? Let me just tell you guys something. The ways in which I know that right now I'm feeling and intellectualizing at the same time is because before, when I spoke on the previous video, I literally just spoke. Right now I'm feeling. I used to be here. This is how I am with people. I'm up here. High level, surface level, I'm never here. But right now in this video, I'm feeling a lot more. And that's how I know that I'm feeling and I'm not intellectualizing. And that's because of the physical reaction that I'm having, basically. And what those books do and what these podcasts do, they basically just verbalize what you're thinking. They basically have just written out what you're thinking. They can't help you feel. You have to sit and be by yourself. You have to feel that heart-wrenching feeling of your heart being squashed, squeezed, because you're trying to squeeze out everything that you felt. You don't have to figure out why you went through that trauma, why you went through all the abuse, why you went through losing someone, why you went through, all of these hardships and these emotions. All you have to do is feel it. And that initially is just the first step to like something greater. Because you see the world in a different light, in a different way, which is so beautiful. So, yes, read the books, as I've done. Listen to the podcast, as I've done. But I'm going to tell you, it's not going to help you if you don't put in the time to just feel. Yeah. Because I believe that trauma and emotions must be felt. And I think that this is why a lot of people just find it hard these days to connect with themselves. At least that's me. You're stopping yourself from knowing yourself because you're sitting on the phone and you're numbing yourself out, scrolling next video, but you're not putting in that time. You're reading books. You're filling yourself with a whole bunch of fictional things, but it's never to the point of healing little bit by little bit, because it's all about that 1%, ways in which I've kind of seen how I've intellectualized, and I think that maybe you guys can relate. I mean, we are here, we're having this conversation. I have my coffee, you should be having your coffee. Let's figure out how to kind of spot these things and how I've spotted it, which is number one. I mentioned it before, is that physical feeling. There's no physical sensation. Everything feels dull. You're having a deep conversation with someone, but it's all up here and it's never in here. And you're living in fear of feeling something. So you prefer that dull, blunt feeling. And you overanalyze other people. You overanalyze what they've said, what they've done, what they've da-da-da-da-da-da. Ew. And I say ew in the most compassionate way because it's real and it happens and we can fix it. But also, stop doing it. Yeah, stop doing it. It's not gonna help you. Feel. If you have to pinch yourself to kind of just connect, do it. I don't mean hurt yourself, just a little tap. Minimizing my emotional expression. Dude, you'll see me in spaces not just mine. I said this before. I've minimized my emotional expression. But if I'm sitting with someone, and like I said, if they're crying, if they're doing something that is innately human, I need them to stop. I'm going to minimize the experience. I'm obviously going to be there and be compassionate and say, listen, I'm a problem solver. I solve things. I come up with solutions. You know what I mean? I'm there if you need to know where to go. And so I click into that when someone's feeling. And so I try to minimize the emotions, the occurrence of the anxiety, of the sadness, of the happiness. It's like, just feel neutral. Don't feel anything. Bro, that's not nice. It's not cute. It's not... I do that with myself. And now I'm doing it with other people. And that's one of the ways that you can spot that you've intellectualized too much. It's embarrassing. But guilt tripping myself over it is not going to help. That's just another spiral of overthinking and nonsense and not feeling it. And the other thing is the excessive explanation. Over explaining how you feel. My friends can vouch, I've had many calls. And this is just about, how am I perceived? How do people see me? How do people... I don't know, how do I feel about this thing? Over explaining, never feeling. I remember I just come out about my traumatic experience being young, and I didn't feel it. I just spoke about it too much. And yes, speaking about these things are good. Tell people you trust. Speak about things, but make time to feel it. And what I've noticed about me is that these feelings are very young, non-verbal feelings. I can never get it out in words. I can only feel it, and that's the reality of it. That's the reality of starting out and feeling things. They take you back. Yeah, you'll have flashbacks, you'll have intense emotions, intense feelings, but these things happen, and half of the time you cannot verbalize it. It's a lot of whimpering, a lot of whatever it is for you. Sometimes you just feel and you can't talk about it, and that's where you need to be. That's like sort of the first few steps. And I need you to know that you're making yourself feel more safe in your body when you're doing these things. It's okay. You're going to be okay. And if you need to just journal about these things, journal about it. If you need to make video diaries like this, do it. If you need to talk to someone, do it. And I suggest that, look, it's on your suggestion. You don't go into these spaces trying to have someone fix the thing for you, fix you. You go in there and you strategize with this person to a point where, how can I make my healing journey more of a thing where I can feel more, and more of just a journey and not a halt where you're studying on how to get through no, it's not gonna help. Feel it all. And it's embarrassing, number one, but who cares? This world is literally, it's beautiful, but we've been so indoctrinated to believe that we need to put on a show. I'm sitting here in a hoodie, in a shorts, drinking coffee. My lips are chapped. There's a whole bunch of things that I can explain. You know what I mean? But they make you believe that this interaction is meant to be perfect. You need to look a certain way, you need to do things a certain way. Everything needs to be to the T. No, it doesn't. You just have to feel and be real and be honest. And that's it. You can only heal if you feel. Healing through feeling. Period. Also, thank you to you guys for watching. Especially with my first video. I got like 60 odd views and I was like, whoa. I know 60 people. I know 60 odd people. That's crazy. So thank you guys. And also, I apologize for swearing a lot in my first video. There is no excuse other than it's very unconsciously living through my anxiety of putting something out. I just needed to get something out, and I'm happy I did. But the swearing, ik vloek baie. Honestly, I do, but yeah, I've kind of slowed down on that after realizing that what good does it do? So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, heal through feeling. I'm such a bloody mock sometimes because I enjoy yapping with y'all. I enjoy this. I was always a kid who spoke too much and was told to keep quiet most of the time with my questions, and now I'm just here talking to you guys, and it's so funny for me because the thing that you get made fun of, or the thing that people tell you to stop doing, is usually the thing that makes you the thing that makes you cool, the thing that makes you more relatable. So yeah, stop intellectualizing your emotions, feel and thrive. Bye.